turn the Pinto from a 4-lug to a 5-lug vehicle without using wheel adapters is you got to know the spline. Get one of these axles out. These things look good. And these axles are hardened all the way through. Just give it a yank see. Slide hammer. In she goes. So these are the exact same ones except 5-lug. Or pivot, which is crucial. There we go. The wheel moves, but the drum doesn't. Hey, welcome back to Fixing Things. Today, we're on the Pro Street Pinto. Finally. Had a lot of stuff to do at my salon and a big show's going on there today, but it's an all women's thing, so I'm not invited. But I had to do a lot of the dirty work to get it ready. I can't say that. My wife did a lot of the work, and a lot of the other girls and vendors that came. But today, we're working on the Pro Street Pinto, and we want to turn the Pinto from a 4-lug vehicle to a 5-lug vehicle without using wheel adapters. How are you going to do that? Well, we're installing new axles. And I want to give a shout out to Dutchman Motorsports for the axles. These are 5-lug axles made for the Pinto by them. You give them the specs you want, the bearing size and all that stuff. They got the charts and everything to help make it easy. I'm not affiliated with Dutchman, but man, they were good to me. I accidentally ordered the wrong ones, sent them back. They had them back to me like lickety split. It was like no time at all, and got them back. And today we're going to install them back in the Pinto. Well, we didn't install them before because I ordered the wrong spline. So for all you guys doing Pintos and you're wanting to make your car 5-lug, so it gives you better choice of wheels, not that you can drag race with these little dinky axles, but for things like autocross and stuff like that, these little axles are just fine. In one of my other videos, we put the 5-lug hubs on. They were super easy to do. So I'm hoping that this goes easy. So one of the problems when swapping axles out is you got to know the spline. So it ends up that I believe these are 23 spline, 1-inch diameter axle splines. And the ones I ordered was like 1.5 inches or 1 3/8 28 spline, which ain't gonna work. So that's because the Pinto came with 2 different axles, one with the heavier axle and one with the lighter axle. I just happen to have, it's probably the wagons probably had it. And some of the Pintos had little V6 motors in them. A little bit more torque, a little bit more pep. But we're not going to be using these no more. Probably turn around and sell them on eBay because they're still brand new. They're good, perfectly good. So let's open up my Dutchman axles and see what we have. Now, I already opened them up because I want to make sure before I even tried doing this video that the axles were cut. and the splines were right. I still don't know if the splines are right, but I'm pretty sure them guys know. They already had the center section gear piece that comes out of these rears, and he said he had it. Send the axles, and we'll get it done. So let's open up this box. I sent them back their axles. Well, they were my axles. They're the same axles in their original box, using the original packaging and everything, and packed them even more than how they packaged them. They sent it back in a brand new box, so they could have just reused it. They didn't. Let's get one of these axles out. These things look good. It's got the brand new bearings, everything on them. And the reason I know these are the same axles that they sent me and just redid them is they still got my double zip tied small block Ford axle holder honor thingies. So what they did is they narrowed this down and re-splined the end. Man, couldn't ask for anything better. Really couldn't. So these things got the 5 lug, 4.5 inch on center, and they got hardened bolts. These are hardened axles all the way through. So a lot of axles that you buy, they're only hardened on the outer edge, hardened where the spline is. And these axles are hardened all the way through. That's what they say. Now, these things are not going to work. I'm probably going to have to use the other ones because this is for a regular Ford 8-inch or 9-inch rear end. Not a biggie. We can use the original ones that came on the Pinto and put those back on. I don't want to take the bearings off. And I don't want to take the bearings, so I think we're going to cut those off and slide them over like these are done. We're going to be doing the axles, taking these things off, putting them on these, and we're going to be doing the brakes and the brand new brake drum. So when you're changing over from 5 lug to 4 lug and you want to keep all the brakes, one thing I don't like doing is buying aftermarket parts that you can't just go to the store. And so let's say I put Woodward brakes or Woodward brakes, whatever that brand is. I put them on my car, and all of a sudden one of the brakes goes bad on it. I don't know, we just have it, one of the brakes go bad, one of the calipers go bad, or one of the drums go bad. And I got these aftermarket brakes that you can't go to the store and buy parts for. So I like to use cross-change parts. I got Ford Courier brake drums. So Ford Courier uses the exact same brake drums as the Pinto did, except they're 5 lug. Exact same brake drums, except 5 lug. And I had to make sure that these had the 277 on this here, so that the brake hub will fit over that. Because I can tell you right now, if your brake hub doesn't fit that little eccentric ring thing, the pilot thing, your brake drums are going to wobble out in no time and wear out and fall apart, start rattling, and you have bad problems. That's a key issue when doing your brakes. So ordering your axles to have the 277 hub is crucial. So let's get that other axle out. We already got the drum off of it. That's easy cheesy. And I gotta find all my parts because it's been a while since I've been on this. It's been a while. I want to get this thing on its wheels today. Yes. And of course I wasn't filming it, but you put this on like this, take it off. these two top ones were real tight. The bottom two were kind of loose. And you don't want to lose your springs and all that stuff. All right, let me get a big pry bar. We'll put it in here and we'll snap this axle out. I'm going to start with a hammer going against my brand new wheel cylinder that I put in, and just give it a yank see. Oops. It's definitely moved. We're getting it. I went ahead, took the brake shoes out of it, and we're gonna try using the drum as a slide hammer. And I tightened two of the nuts back down on this so it's not holding against the bearing. All right, this has got to be the tightest one I've ever taken off. I went ahead, this is bolted tight now, but it's not against the backing retainer. I pulled the retainer out and we're gonna put some pressure on it. I turned the drum around backwards to get some beating room. And we're gonna finally. Whew. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm beat. Oh. 1 hour later, or maybe 2. Goodness gracious. Oh, I'm shaking. I'm so tired. Oh, everything was falling off the car. Oh, I'm beat. All right, need a rag. We got to get these off somehow. Might have to take it over to my new press and press those suckers off. Let's take it over to the workbench. So it wasn't leaking any oil. That's from penetrating oil. But I put these 2 bolts back on so this plate wasn't rubbing up against the bearing as it was trying to come out. The seal's not leaking. So that, like I said, this isn't just penetrating oil. So, I mean, I can put a new seal in it easy enough, but she's doing good. And I didn't break my wheel cylinder. That's good. Now we got to address the plates. All right, so I got one of the plates off the axles. I couldn't get the bearings off with the press. I had some wood and stuff up there with my big metal plates, and it just quarter-inch plate was bending. But I got one of these off. I cut it off with my slice and dice, as Puddin would say. But we're gonna drill some new holes in the plates that line up. The top two bolts already line up, but these two do not. So we're just going to drill some holes. I got both plates lined up. It's a quarter-inch plate steel. And get right down in the center here. Drill some pilot holes. It's got to be almost through there. All right. This one I drilled the pilot hole all the way through. That one I didn't. Once I get past the pilot hole, it slowed down. Whew. All right, we should get a bolt and try it down in the hole now. Boom, we got it, baby. Now we can take this off. Don't need to use that piece no more. I got 2 pieces of quarter-inch plate steel that came with the axle. Okay, so here's the final look on it, and came up pretty good. You can see how much difference it was between the original one. But the top bolts were good, so we're going to put that like this to hold in the axle. So I guess we're ready to slide the axle in. I should probably wipe those and put a little grease on that. Everything gets a little grease. Ugh. And put it on the area where the seal touches. In she goes. Alright, why aren't you going past that? There we go. It's in the spline. It's getting dark outside. My wife is still at the event. I may get in this because I still got all day tomorrow. All right, it's the next day. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. um, getting those things off was a pain. So I didn't have the equipment on my press to get them off. So I guess you can see I bent the heck out of these with my 20-ton press, and they didn't want to, so I had to cut them off with the cutoff wheel. And you see, we drilled them out. We got the axles in. They look good. They look good. So now it's time to put some brand new brakes on. So I'm not just going with any old brakes. I'm going with some good Wagner, American made, I guess, probably made in China. Made in, I can't read. I gotta put my glasses on. What does it say? Made in China. American parts made in China. Oh. Can cause cancer in the state of California. Warning. Man, you guys in California, you guys got it hard. All right, so we're going to get the brakes on it now. And I got some brand new drums. So one of the things when you're swapping over 5-lug, so we got the axles in, so the wheels will bolt on them right now, but we ain't gonna stop. So the thing is, you don't want to be able, you don't want, see, now I can go to any store and buy the original brakes to fit this car. The problem is the brake drums are 4-lug. They won't fit over the holes. Now, I could probably drill these out. Or I can buy some that have the 5-lug. So these are the exact same ones except 5-lug. All right, I gotta get my dogs ready to get run over. All right, got the dogs in from almost getting run over by the UPS guy. I don't know why dogs want to chase the delivery people. They see them all the time. All right, so when you're putting your brakes on, the shoes come with a wide side and a short side. Where's the other shoe? Back here. It's got, one side's got hardly any shoe, and the other side's got a lot of shoe. Here, I'll show you. Here's the difference. And the side with the lot of shoe goes to the front. Always goes to the front. That's because this one is the parking brake. Now the parking brake connects to the back side, but what happens is it pushes across with an arm, and it pushes the front brake out. So on a lot of these cars where people drive with the parking brake accidentally pulled or slightly pulled, the front brake will wear out fast. And when the front brake wears out fast, well, I got a set right here. This one, the back brake is wearing out fast, and the front brake is looking better. And he's got the glued on ones. The other side, you notice the shoe is pretty even all the way across. But you notice this one hasn't been taken apart. It's got the short one on the front, the long one on the back. Your arm connects to the back brake here and pulls on an arm that's in there that hooks to the top brake. But what it does is pushes this arm over and pushes this brake out. So it connects to the back brake, but it actually pushes the front brake. So we're gonna, and if you've never taken your drum brakes apart before, take a picture of your brakes before you do it. What I like to do is kind of leave it assembled, because most of the brakes are the same. It's like Ford doesn't make this back brake piece on the cars. You know, a lot of people think this is Ford. It was made for Ford by Bendix. It's got a Bendix wheel cylinder, and it's Bendix brakes. So these brakes came on many different cars. That's why the drum from the Ford Courier fits. So Ford specs out the brakes, and they still do it today. They don't make everything on your Ford is not a Ford. Everything on your Chevy is not a Chevy. It's like Chevrolet didn't make your rear ends. When it says a Dana 60 or something like that, they didn't make that part. It was specced out and was made for them. Just like the military. The military does the same thing. So like your 2.5 ton, it's specced out and other people make it. Some were made by Ford, some were made by Kaiser, some were made, and you can have the same exact vehicle and all the parts are interchangeable on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the brakes back on this side, and we'll go over and do the brakes on that side. All right, so the Ford Courier is the exact same size what you need to fit this hub. So this hub is a 2.77, and the brake drums for the Ford Courier is 2.77, the center pivot, which is crucial. And now if I want to order brakes, I can order brakes for the Ford Courier or the Ford Pinto. But if I want to order the brake drum, I have to order it for the Ford Courier. And we'll paint this black or something. I don't know. We'll paint it. All right, I'm going to do the other side. And that looks good. Now we just got to do the same for this side. Get all this stuff off. All right, everything in here is under these high tension springs. So first thing you want to do is kick the camera stand around. I'm gonna take the pressure off of this one and get the wire off of it. And I need 2 hands and 2 screwdrivers. Just lift up on that, takes this tension off the spring, and you get that off. Just get that out of the way. Get the adjuster out. That's going to take tension off of this spring as much as possible. Sometimes you got to put your finger on the back side to keep it from spinning. And it'll pop out and hit you in the face. Ask me how I know. There we go. Now you can get the little clip thingy here out. And getting these springs and stuff like that ain't easy. So I like to use one of these tools here. This side puts the spring on, and this side gets the spring off. So you just kind of put it over the thing if it fits. Twist it, but you got to use get the right one first. It comes right out. Easy, cheesy. Now we can put the new shoes on. Starting with this one, we're gonna get this off here. The other retainer thingy. Now both shoes would just fall right off of there, kind of. All right. Now we put it on in reverse, but I'm gonna tell you, it's taxing. Okay. So remember, the large shoe goes in the back. First, you get your brake thingy on there. And what I like to do is get my nail facing straight up and down, or whatever that thing is called. And that's why it's so hard to do. Almost. All right, let's try this again. Get up in there. Ah, ha, ha. Success. Almost. Slide your retaining nail thing through the hole. I got the hiccups now for some reason. So this is the little star wheel thingy that it's an adjustment, but it's dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, thread this thing apart I'm gonna put some high temp grease in it. And the left side only goes on the left, and the right side only goes on the right. So when this thing is in there, it's self-adjusting. So you want this thing to be adjusting correctly. So there's only a left and only a right. Same thing with the little arm that holds it in place. This one is, believe it or not, is loose. But who's to say 10,000 miles from now it won't be? So we're just going to put a little bit of grease in there. And this one is reverse threads from the other side. I don't want to get my hands full of grease because we're working on the brakes. That should be enough. And we're going to screw this all the way in. And we're going to take this off. There's a little seal bearing that rides on. And put a little bit of grease. In this cup. And you have enough grease when it gets sticky. That's when you know you got enough grease. All right. Now let's get this on. So the star piece goes towards the front. Ow! Pinched my finger. And it slides through here with the spring on the front side. Because this side's wider, it has to go over this piece here. How'd that get in there? Oh. Right, my little star wheel just came out. All right, so I'm putting my star wheel back in. I got that piece in there. And then we're going to get our bottom spring on in the clip. A lot of people don't know about, but the spring actually just sits in the hole like that. So in the little hole here, it just goes in and hangs in there like that. It doesn't hook. A lot of people say, "Ah, it doesn't work." You just ain't got it right. All right, man, totally messed up. I forgot to press record on the other side. I stopped for a second because I had to take the star wheel out, and I didn't want to backtrack and I didn't press record and got the brakes back. So I spray painted the other side, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little bit of grease on all the studs so that the paint don't stick to them. And a little bit of grease on the hub so it looks pretty. We're going to spray paint it. And this will keep the paint from getting into threads. Don't get it on your brake. I mean, you can get it on there, but you want the paint to stick. I think I got a little bit right there on there. All right, now we're going to take the spray paint. I'm not using anything but just plain old Rust-Oleum high gloss. I'm not using high temp engine or anything. And now that we got the grease on the hub, you take a rag and it will come right off. So the axles look good, man. It's ready for the wheels. Okay, I think we got an issue here. The wheel moves, but the drum doesn't. And the lugs are tight. So the wheel is touching the pilot on the new axle, but the wheel's not touching the other thing. So that means this wheel needs to be modified to fit the new, oh man. But on the lighter side, we'll probably have to get a grinder to that. But on the lighter side, we got plenty of room here for the tire to go up in the hole. That's a win. That fixing the hub, not a problem. If you remembered on the front hubs, the wheel wouldn't go over it either, and I took a hole saw and I drilled through the wheel, and that fixed the diameter problem. I may have to swap these wheels out. That's $200 wasted. They got, so if they were made to fit like a Mustang or something like that, then these things would fit. They're probably made for like came off a Honda or something, or a Nissan or something. I was just looking for I was just hoping. So on these, I had to open it up for the hub to fit through here, and they fit up tight. Oh, I gotta put the brakes on there. You know something? I got new brakes for that too. Bum, bum, bum. Ah. You can hear something I haven't showed you yet is we'll do the front brakes when we go to do these. Yes, sir. So at the Rockabilly Hot Rod Rumble, I just happened to see those sitting at one of the booths for the vendors that are selling stuff at the swap meet. And those are brand new Mustang 2/Pinto tubular steel, heavy duty, and I picked them up for like $100. That's what I'm talking about. He said, "Oh, $200 and you can have them." I said, "Oh man, I don't know." And he goes, well, "What's your price?" I said, $100. That's all I had in my pocket. He goes, "Sold." So I picked them up there. So on the interweb, they're going for anywhere from $280 to $360. And these got the screw-in style ball joints. So all I got to do is measure that and order the ball joints for it. You can get the ball joints at all the other, well, you know, like me, I don't like, they're, I think, a Mopar ball joint is what it is. I have to figure out what it is. I'll do a cross-reference. But anyways, the axles are done. The rear brakes are done. That's really what I wanted to get done on the video today. We got some future stuff coming up. We got the motor's coming back out because we got to fix the massive oil leak that's on the rebuilt engine. And it's my fault. When I was in congestive heart failure, I was making all kinds of mistakes. One of them was trusting AI. If you think you can just Google something and test and trust the AI answer, wrong. AI is not real, okay? It doesn't know what you need, okay? AI is not real, okay? All it does is take the top 5 answers on the internet and says, this is it. You know, hey, an idiot can do that. So that just makes me an idiot for trusting AI. Okay? Because that's, remember, if you go back, I had to redo the main bearing caps on the motor because I torqued them down too tight and stretched them and broke one off. Luckily, I got the broken one off with a little bit of chisel without messing up the block. And that's all because I was in congestive heart failure and I wasn't getting enough blood. Now, man, my heart is pumping now and I'm ready. And we're going to pull that motor out and we're going to get that thing, we're going to put it back on the engine stand and we're going to fix that motor and we're going to redo the entire engine compartment to make it look like brand spanking new. Because now, time was an issue because I wanted to get this to the Ford Fest, Holly Ford Fest, and that was running too short, and I was running out of money because of doctor bills. Now, after that, I said, okay, we'll try. Maybe we can make it to the Rockabilly Hot Rod Rumble, which is also a really big car show, and nah, couldn't make it. It's running now. I could actually get in the car right now since we got the wheels on it, with the brakes on it, the new axles in it, and drive the car. I can drive the car. It's done. The car's done. Now I got to take it apart. We got to do a lot of things to this car, though. We got to open up the fender wells so that the tires don't rub. We got a jet. I don't want to buy new wheels. May have to though. I'm gonna look online. The problem is buying used wheels. You don't know the specs on them, and that's the problem. Notice this one's doing it too. Dude. But, like I always said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's just the thing. When you're working on cars and you're modifying cars, you're putting parts on cars that didn't come from that. I mean, the wheels look good. The front ones look good. I'll modify the back ones. You know what I need? I bet you if I had a nice drill press. Drill them out to like 2.5 inch. Dude. Actually, that's got to be bigger. 2.7 is bigger than 2.5. 2.5, 2.7, 2.8. So we're looking 2 3/4 inches. I could be wrong on that. I'm just rambling in my head. God bless each and every one of you. We got the axles in. We got the brakes done on the car. We got new brakes to put on it, but we're going to do those with the new front suspension. That's going to be coming up soon. We're going to be pulling the motor back out of it and redoing everything. And we're going to be doing a video on what it takes to get a V8 in a Pinto, because on the V8 forums, there's a lot of questions that are re-asked. And I'd like to just be able to forward a video to show everybody what it takes, because we're going to be taking this motor out, and we got this fender, inner fender well right here is touching the exhaust manifold. And I would like to use my brand new Flashark headers on this motor. I would. But I already got all the exhaust done on it. The exhaust is done. The brakes are done. Everything is done on the car, except for the engine leaks. Trust me, if the engine wasn't leaking, I would not be pulling the motor out. Would be saying it's good enough. It's good enough for this old guy. But since I have to pull it out, we're going to go ahead and make all the modifications. We're going to narrow the cross member going underneath it. We're going to modify that. We're going to do a lot of work. And it's going to be fast and simple, because I already know what we need to do. God bless you. I'll see you on the next Tearing Things Up with Pastor Bill. Man, I got to fix them wheels. I'm going to fix them wheels before I go inside. God bless you. I'll see you on the next Fixing Things with Pastor Bill.